influence on their focus, on their tactics in this race. An influence on their focus, on their tactics in this race.
And welcome to the dual mode. For a second, welcome to the dual mode. For a second, none of them doing a penalty. You can see it just following each other. We will follow them too.
What is king is not angle but wind speed. It's not angle but wind speed. If you can see our place on the course, like how on this looking at now on the left hand side of the course, you can see it's a little bit darker.
It's shifting, as you can see, it's more and more shifting. But it's always good to be on the right side first, because then you're on the counter attack when you're going across the boat, and you're in advantage that way, so nobody can penalize you whoever comes from the port side. Right? So nobody can penalize you whoever comes from the port side.
Second, Argentinian boat third.
Hello and good evening, good morning, good afternoon to all of you watching Esailing TV at the moment. Today we are actually traveling all the way to Turkey. We're going to visit one of the online sailing clubs there are around the world. And in Turkey we have an online sailing club the same size as the sailing club we are seeing in the Mondays evenings, the VRE sailing club. Then we have a Turkish sailing club. And together with me in studio today, I have two very good gentlemen helping me out doing commentary. Actually, you won't hear me that much today. Please welcome Havuk from Turkey and Norman, our own wind whisperer from VRE Sailing Club. Hello, guys.
Hey peeps,
Hello.
hello Havuk, hello Thomas, nice to hear you guys back in the studio.
So, so Norman, you're sitting in Sarasota, Florida at the moment, and Havuk, you're organizing this race at the same time and sitting in Munich.
Yeah, I'm in a business trip right now, but I'm trying to organize it at the same time with some of my friends back in Turkey.
Yeah. So this is quite fun because we have one in Munich, one in Florida, one in Denmark, and we're doing this stream together. And if people experience that one of us is a little bit delay, it's because there's 0.2 seconds delay between our talk together. So Havuk, what are you doing in Munich?
It's a business trip, but I wanted to keep going organizing this community. So this is a very new community, actually, Turkish e-sailing team, and it's a nice group. A lot of people right now. I think we are about 65 sailors, and some of them were inactive in the virtual regatta community. But right now, we managed to drag back these guys to the VR world. So it's going on well. I mean, 45 people tried to register, but unfortunately we managed to take only 40 people because we are able to just use 2 fleets at the moment. But I don't know about the future. We may try to do something else. I mean, to include everybody.
But that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I wasn't expecting that much people.
No. And I'm really glad that you all managed to call me and say, hey, we're doing an online sailing club again. I saw it last week, and you didn't contact me, so I found out of it, and then after you wrote me and say, hey, we're doing one again Tuesday. So we're really glad of that. So and today we're going to experience a race. I can see the format is they are divided into 2 groups, and each group are going to race how many times, Havuk?
Um, Divided into two groups out of 20, I suppose, if everybody's online. And we're gonna race 5 races with different boats. And at the end of the 5 races and one discard, top 10 of each group will qualify for a gold fleet, only gold fleet. Not there won't be any silver fleet, and they will make another race as a gold fleet, and the top 8 will be qualified for the medal race finally, and then we will find out who the winner is.
So there will only be one medal race, one gold fleet race.
Yes, I mean we are taking some baby steps right now, so we don't want to just bore people with too many frequent races, but just to have the experience of playing together.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. I mean, this is just the beginning, and of course we are going to find out how people feel about it, and then later on we can of course change the organization, change the duration of the races, you know.
Cool.
So
Very, very cool.
yeah.
And I can say I have already joined one of the servers. And the first server we're going to see today is the server where Dugraps is playing on. So that's Group A is the first server we are going to see today. And then the second race, we will try to go into Group B. So when the players are ready, Havuk, let's just start the racing. And Norman, do you have any questions to all of this? You're going to help us. It's Havuk and you doing all the commentary.
This is great. No, I'm just listening to you, to Havuk, because it's new to me. I'm learning about your group, and I'd like to congratulate you to having such a great response and lots of sailors ready to go show their talents on the water. So, no questions really. I'm just excited to be here and want to see how your team and your groups will end up and what they do. I have to learn the names and votes and all that stuff. So we'll see. I'm just watching and learning right now myself.
Yeah. A lot of things is happening. So let us do an introduction. Havuk, he will laugh a little bit at me because my namings in Turkish is not the best. So Dugraps is the first boat. Then we have who? Havuk? It's
Onur.
okay.
First guy is Doğa Arıbaş. He's one of European champions in laser 4.7. He's a really good There's some other guys, Onur, Mandalinci, and some other boats.
Yeah. So we have some sailors. Are all of them sailors, or are they non-sailors? Some of them.
Yeah. Actually, most of them, I believe, are actual sailors, and so yes, I don't think there are any non-sailors right now.
Got 7 seconds to start, so I will be quiet. Norman and Havuk, please help us through this game.
There we go. Starter goes. Boom. We already have a split, and of course, we have people going to the right and to the left. Let's see how this is going to fan out the first few seconds of the race. Havuk, who is your favorite from these people that you've been racing with these guys, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Doğa Arıbaş is a very good sailor. I think he's the favorite here, and there are some other guys like Kerim Ordu, who's going first right now. He's also a good racer, and yeah,
We see
but
how he's already protecting himself on the yellow boat.
yeah,
And it's these are interesting names. Boy, oh boy.
yeah. I mean, in such races, it is really difficult. You know, you need to stay clean because there are too many boats, and it's not a big course. So you have to stay clean and stay focused.
Right. So Turkmen right now on the white boat is going to end up behind these boats because of the wind angles coming his way. The two boats on the left side, the black and the yellow right there, Gubuzula and Gorumdu, are definitely in the lead, and they're going to continue around the mark.
Yeah.
Let's see how they're going to play out the mark roundings or the gate rounding right here.
So the mark on the right hand side, I mean, in this case, left hand side has advantage.
Right.
And
But the yellow boat just something made a huge mistake. He was speeding up like crazy and ran into boats, and he penalized himself. I don't know what happened. He was in a good position.
Yeah.
But as you go, the black boat is in the lead quite well, with dog
Yeah.
bars coming right behind him and 4 minutes, 6 minutes behind him. So it's going to be a nice little battle between the two of them at the bottom gate.
Yeah.
And
Kerim and Doa are racing right now for the first.
right.
And yeah, there's a split on the downwind mark.
And if you look at the colors of the water, meaning dark blue and light blue, the left side is a bit favorable because also the wind sucks. As soon as he's going to jibe, he's going to have a better advantage. And but the two of them duking it out, where third and fourth, Omar Jachi and what is that?
85,000.
They're racing up for third and fourth, and then we have another battle going on between the yellow and the pink boat in prize fifth and sixth. So there's all kinds of little battles happening, and we're going to follow what's happening with the two boats right now. They came up nicely. A bit surprised that the black boat is far behind like that.
And we have a pink boat. I just have to say the pink boat in the gate mark is just rounding it now. So 366 meters behind. So not the best start for that one. But they're coming into the gate mark, guys.
Seems to be a new beginner. Yeah. Who knows? But you've been racing with these guys for a while? Yes, Havuk? You being part of the world champion leaders?
Yes, some of them, yes, I did. But frankly speaking, I don't know half of the guys in the community. We met in this community, so actually it's nice to meet some new people,
Got it. So as it looks, Dogbar is going to win this race unless something dramatically changes or shifts. Danzi is going to be second.
Yeah, he's at the breeze, so I don't think Onur is able to pass him. So Doğa will win this race.
So the two blue boats are going for the finish line, and my screen is a little bit stagnant right now. They're passed already. Good. So the way it looks, third is going to be Kamardu, and fourth is going to be, oh no, what am I saying? Changed.
There's a big finish line, so
right. And I have to say the screen is lagging a lot, so I am not able to commentate on the actual races right now.
We are switching servers at the moment. So what we are seeing here is position 9 coming in. It's Samset. It's Ik and coming in 10. We have Havuk, you have to help me with some names. Number 11, who is?
Sure.
Pekarush coming in there. And then we have some boats still racing, number 12 and 13. And it doesn't look exciting. They are more than 155 meters behind. And they're still racing outside in the dark. So the result of the first race, I know Havuk is doing the score, so let me help him in the first race. It's Dogbras being number 1. We have Onumandalisi coming in second.
Good luck.
Kamodu coming in third. Then we have a boat 885 coming in fourth.
Don't bother.
Don't budge. Yeah, it's so funny with the different dialects we have around the world. I'm pretty sure we have another name called from United States. If Norman was going to say one of them.
Bubuzurula.
Yeah, coming in fifth.
Sixth place Turkish boat 1283. In seventh we have Turkmen 195. In eighth we have Snipnyk.
Yeah.
And then in ninth we have Summit. In 10th, we have Ark-Ank. In 11th, we have Pekyurur. In 12th, we have Orkunz. In 13th, Turu 014. In 14th is Marti. 15th is Mertuku.
Yeah. They couldn't manage to finish.
They was disconnecting the race. So let's go ready and find one of the other races. It's the first time we're going to Turkey, and we're really glad to actually see the sailing clubs popping up around the world. And we spoke about it a little bit Monday, and also last week we were speaking about how clubs are coming around in the world. and Turkey is actually one of the countries where it's growing very much. And right now, while we're speaking about this, we can also see a Spanish league is being played tonight. I just saw that. I thought it was the Turkish league in the server. So it's so fantastic to see how the countries are doing clubs. So
Sorry about the noise. I have a garbage truck coming by picking up our Tuesday garbage.
this is live music. This is live event. We are sitting around in our homes or on a business trip today, and we will get ready for seeing the second race and see how focused Havuk are at the moment. He's both commentating, listening to us in English, and doing all the scoreboard and organizing of the clock at the same time. And actually, you were meant to race today also, Havuk.
No, I mean, I wasn't planning to race anyways because I'm in Munich right now, and organizing such an event is a huge thing, which I cannot, I think, concentrate at the same time. So I wasn't planning to race anyways today. But next time, maybe.
Yeah.
I tried it yesterday. I was organizing the event, the silver race, and while I was racing, and then right afterwards I went into commentary. So I felt like triple tasking, and I can only emphasize how much work it is behind the scene to make this happen. So have at it, Havuk. Good job.
Yeah, and it's fantastic to see how they're doing it, how you're growing it. You are all ambassadors of the game and helping it to grow. Havuk, we are going in to see the second race, and we will try to capture Group B when it's ready. So, you know some of the players here. Is there any special we need to focus on in Group B?
Well, in the Group B, let me see. You know, there's a boat tour 886 called. He's actually a very old player of the game, and he's really good at the game actually. But because he's sailing a lot, he's not able to race a lot in VR. But when we drag him in the community, we saw that he's still very good, so we can concentrate on him. And
Which sail number is that? I didn't catch that.
886. TUR
Turkish 886. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. He's a very good player.
It's cool. So we are just waiting for the servers to be created. Then we will get into them. And while we are waiting for that, and it's first time we are going to Turkey, so all of you watching us today, please take it easy, because it's the first time we're doing a live event in Turkey, and what you're seeing at the Virtual Regatta online sailing club is very, very trained over a half year. So we just welcome the Turks, and please stand by, and if you want to see more Esailing TV or Esailing, then join us on these social medias. Hi, you're watching Esailing TV. Hope you like what we're doing. If you want to see more, please follow us on the social medias. Go on Facebook, write Esailing TV, then you come into our fan page. If you follow us, subscribe or like us, then you can see our live shows and get a notification of it. But there's an 8 seconds delay on Facebook. You can also see when we're doing highlights. We'll pop them up there, and small news with pictures. You can like, share with your friends what we're doing, share your interest. Hope you will join in. But if you're more the video type, then go to YouTube. Esailing TV channel here has a live feed also. There's a 6 seconds delay, but it's fantastic on YouTube. All our videos are saved forever, so you can see what we've been doing the last year, also the highlights. Example, here's Norman and I having fun with the chat, getting questions from the chat, and it was so fun. But if you want to see the live shows straight away without any delays, then go into Gamers Universe, Twitch TV, write Esailing TV. There's a 2 seconds delay. So in here, it's if you want to see the shows live. All live shows will be deleted after 14 days. But you can do your own highlights, clip it out, and it will be saved forever. And then some of you said, hey, Twitter. Yeah, we are on Twitter. Go on Twitter, write Esailing TV. We're also doing live shows on Twitter. But again, there's an 8 seconds delay on the live shows. but you can see some tweets when we're out traveling. You can get direct notifications when we're doing activities. In here we are doing a lot of pop-up news, but we are having a lot of fun. You can share and like what we're doing. And of course Instagram is also there. But Instagram we're not doing any live shows on. We're only doing pop-up news. So here you can see what we're doing of crazy things, and trust me, we'll be better to do a lot of more crazy things in here. Example, we met L1's nail shop in Liverpool, or the highlights show from the World Championship. We also informed about it here. Hope you're enjoying what we're doing in Esailing TV. See you on the servers. And welcome back in studio. We are today going to Turkey. First online sailing clubs we are seeing from the Turkish league. They are organizing it, and together with me in studio today I have Norman from Sarasota, Florida, or also Wind Whisper, and Havuk alias Khan. He's from Turkey. He is one of the players that's been at the World Championship, and see there they're sitting, and if you see Havuk, he's a little bit focused and a little bit blurred. It's because he's actually on a business trip at the moment, doing all the organizing while he's sitting in Munich, where the rest of the players are sitting in Turkey. But Norman, let me start with the questions to you. All what we're seeing on this on the community scene at the moment is how VRE is developing in each country. So how do you see this developing go, and why is it growing, do you think?
Why is it growing? I think people like sailing, and it's a really good platform to sail with, and having the revelry of creating communities, because it's such a world-renowned game, meaning all players from all around the world are racing, and it's nice to have an association or a club like the Turkish club that have found themselves together and build their own strength and saying, hey, here we are together. Let's show what we can do. Let's show who's the best in our country. And then later on, as it is in other World Cups, they show up and compete against the world. And I think that's why it's growing so nicely, because it's a really fun and good game. You learn a lot about sailing and a lot about tactics, and it's fun.
Yeah, and Havuk, how does this sailing club start in Turkey?
Well, I always wanted to do something like that, frankly, but I wasn't expecting that many people want to join in, so I wasn't prepared for a blast like that. But I mean, there are a lot of sailors actually in Turkey, but some of them are retired, some of them are not racing because they are working at the same time. So actually, this community is really nice to get all the people from all the ages together and race, even if they haven't raced before on the sea. So I think people really like to do that and just feel the tension before the start, during the races, So this is a really good community for that.
Cool. And I can see.
I like the feeling that the tension when it happens during the start, like at this point, boy, your heart rate's going up because you're trying to be good at the line. You're trying to read the weather. You're trying to see who's trying to penalize you, or who can you penalize to be in a better position. So there's all this excitement happen during the start time. 30 seconds to go as an example, and if you're in a good position and you're sailing against some excellent sailors, you're excited. Your heart is up.
Yeah, and we're going into a 49er now, guys. The 49er is a fantastic boat. Havuk, you love it. Norman, you also love it. And today we're going to see it here in the sailing club. And Havuk, who are we going? There's 5 seconds to start, so let me please be a little bit quiet. Here the start goes.
There's the start. And we have an elite Ditchangin. The blue boat, the black boat is boat 47970, which just came into first now. So there's always some splits going on. The pink boat is going to start VG Ergesen, going to the right. Is he?
Yeah.
Am I writing?
Left hand side he's going to, and the right hand side we have Octopus going in. But see, there's already penalties. Octopus capturing one there. But let's VG we have been seeing before on Esailing TV. So let's try to follow him a little.
Yeah, he's a very good sailor. VG Uresen, and he's a laser sailor.
Yeah, I have raced against him as well numerous times, and every time I see him, I was like, "Oh, there's competition for sure." And
Yeah.
he shows it right here. He's really good at it. He's in a good position. The
Well,
boats from the right gonna be maybe coming in a really quick way because of the angle of the wind coming their way.
yes. So I think right side will have an advantage, but we'll see.
Yeah, VG has so much leadway right now. Is 10 meters
Yeah.
ahead, 6 meters ahead. He's in a good position, blocking off the red boat Menkine with a nice wind shadow, and then the three boats on top right there coming at this gate with a nice advantage because of the being on starboard. So off they go, one, two, three.
Right.
And
Nice turn. Right.
right, and it seems to be a fair sailing right there. Hardly any penalties except for one
Yeah.
just showed up.
This is
So
really interesting. Look, now that we say we have some penalties, 4-5.
right, but VG Ergeson again in first position, 30 meters ahead himself. So he really did a nice turn. He did a 180 basically at the gate,
Yeah.
and chose it's the left side because there's more wind, of course, and he's in a better wind angle. So everybody who's choosing the left side right now is going to be an advantage for sure.
But what we are seeing here, I really love to have two new hosts in the studio doing commentary together. It's because you guys know so much about the game. So when it's getting exciting, you're getting all quiet. Just what's happening here? So let's see what's going on. It's VG in the top. It's Can or Butter?
Jan, yeah.
Jan, coming in with him, but he's too long away. But we will have a fight for second, third, and fourth when we're watching the speed meters here. So, what will you do with when you're so long behind, Havuk? Do you have a chance to capture the other boat?
Well, you
Oh,
always have a
penalty!
chance.
VG
Oh.
didn't hit the mark. He has to go
Ah.
around. No, there it was. So now we have the excitement.
What is he
He's
doing?
dropping down.
What is he doing?
He hit the
These
mark
things
and come on
happen.
the wrong side.
These things happen, unfortunate. So I
He's
mean,
going from first to last. Oh my goodness, he's not dropping his main either. So wow, he's definitely something is wrong. And that's how that
disconnected
goes.
maybe.
Turkish boat 886, you mentioned him earlier. He's one of the top racers and he is in the lead.
Yeah, I told you.
Akan is in third and Yusuf is in fourth. And they're fighting right now for third and fourth and fifth. Now he just gave it up. He doesn't want to battle him. So,
Yeah.
but the Turkish boat 886 going to be first, right? Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's very close.
It's going to be a
really
close one. He lost it there.
Oh, John won.
Yeah.
Khan
Yeah.
just got him by a meter or two.
And one
Yeah,
of
it's
them.
really close.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Yusuf
although
is wow.
although he
Interesting.
was at the right side, you'll never know because of the wind shift.
Right.
So sometimes, even though the wind is not at your favor, the wind shift might be at your favor, even though it's not strong enough.
So
And here we have another boat coming in, the last one.
Yeah.
as I normally say, it's all about reading the radar in the 49er when you're going downwind. And we just saw a good example here. And you guys didn't saw it, but there was almost 1 knot in difference on the two boats. And that's why he just managed to take him at the finish line. So who's the winner, Havuk?
Yeah, Can Obuter.
Yeah.
He's also a sailor, and today he's also actually helping me organize the game. So special thanks to him.
Yes, and
Your
then we have,
favorite Turkish 886 came in seconds. Akan in third. Yusuf in fourth. Dishyangi in fifth. Turkish 401 in sixth. Turkish 1281 in seventh. Mcine in eighth. Octopus 1 in ninth. Tenth is what?
Bahadur Deniz.
Badidins.
Bahadur Deniz, and the boat probably out of it was disconnected, then reconnected. So
Right.
And
And then we have
who's-
the Turkish boat 82 and 12s. Altin Kut in 13s. Sine in 14s. Yassar in 15s. Nico in 16s. And disqualified VG Ergeson as well as Sam Gozen in 18s. Both got disqualified. It's
Yeah.
probably a disconnect of some sort.
yeah, I mean, VG Ur is a really good racer in this game, but I think it's unfortunate that he's disconnected probably.
And see this chart. It's the first time I've seen a chart where a person's are in the lead all the way to mark number 5, and then whoom, it likes like the stock market. He hit a wrong trade, and then he was in last. But interesting to see how Tour 886 fighting his way up. Not the best
Yeah.
start, fighting his way up. He's the white line, and then ending up second. So way to go by him.
Yeah.
John, it's good to see. These charts are really nice to see, and to see what really happened on the race course and on each mark and how they changed. I love that. I love that chart. Thank you for the VRI to have this, because it really gives you an indication how you can catch up or how you lose, and boom, off the way to the bottom. So,
Yeah.
So guys,
so what's next, Thomas? Do we have another one lined up, or is it just Hook and I looking at each other?
yeah, right now you're looking at each other. So I have a question, because we're waiting for the next server to start, and we will go back into Group A. We are discussing how to organize e-sailing home in your countries, how to start this up. And until now, both of you has joined or started an online sailing club. But how to spread the word about virtual regatta inshore in your home country if you want to start it?
Well,
I
which
think the way it's organically happening and naturally happening, you see, since it is so much based on nationalities, meaning all the flags and all the countries, I think there's this patriotic thing that's happening in the race itself. And then if somebody takes the initiative to build, let's say on Discord, a club of some sort, and you take some charge on that, I think people want to be part of the club. They want to be part of their country. They want to be part of the racing. And it comes together. Maybe via Facebook a little bit here and there. A couple of people get together. That's how I see how it developed, you know?
Yeah. And have
Yeah.
what do you think about the things, the development? Is the online media enough, or do we need to do something for make it grow? How did you make people coming into your club?
Well, I mean, I was really surprised, as I say. I only invited some of my friends to a Discord group and wanted to make some races, you know, to just develop our gaming. And later on, a huge group wanted to register, and I was really surprised. And right now, for example, Turkish Championship is going on in Istanbul for Laser and Optimist, and there are a lot of people there. And seeing people there playing this game, they want to know how, and just it's separating suddenly, you know, in the community. So while the youngsters also race on the sea, they also race online, you know.
Yeah, it's fantastic observation, because when we are looking in esports and gaming, if we take a country like Denmark, 92% of all Danes are gaming once a week. And that's everybody we're counting. That's also my grandmom. It's because we have access to the social medias, we have access to a mobile phone, tablets and everything. And this game is fantastic because it's a tablet, it's an app game. So you can play it on your PC, your mobile phone when you're relaxing, either on the toilet like Matt did last year at the World Championship, or when you're at a sailing competition and just relaxing. We saw that at Kieler Woche. They had a sailing corner there. So when the young sailors was not on the water, they were sitting in the sailing corner and playing e-sailing.
I mean, again, sailing in itself is a humongous sport, and it has a huge, how should I say, it's such a elegant game, you know, because there's a captain involved, there's a boat involved, and now you can do it on your own phone for nothing. And I think VRI, Virtual Regatta Inshore, has created a really good platform. And through you, Thomas, through eSailing TV, I think you create an ad to it that makes people want to be seen and gives them a chance to be seen on screen, on TV, having fun, to be racing, being commentated about, and all that creates inertia, a forward movement that people want to be part of. So it's a rolling ball. It's becoming bigger and bigger, and I think the social media, as like Discord, as Havuk mentioned it, gives us a platform to connect. The game is the toy, and the connections are social media networks that helps us to connect, have a new friendship, have a new toy to play with, and have fun while at it.
Yeah.
So
That's how I see it.
yeah, Havuk, I can see the servers are going to be filled up again. So this time we'll try to jump into group A again, but I'm just missing them to be created in there. So we're just waiting for it to come in. So Norman, we have been speaking a lot about national championships. Also, Havuk, you and we have been speaking at the World Championship Bermuda, how to do a national championship and the importance of it. Is it very important for the game development to have a national championship in a home country like United States or in Turkey, or shall we use other medias to make the game grow? Wow, it's a big question, I know.
There's two sides to that. Number one, I think it would be nice to have the USA National Association be part of this, because it is growing like the World Cup in soccer or World Cup in Formula One racing. On the other hand, we don't necessarily have to have it, because Havuk is a perfect example as to what a country can do without having the association behind it. They can just do it themselves via the social network of Discord and build their own national team and see what happens. If it works both ways, I think it's great to have. If the National Association is part of it, that's a plus, because then you're officially the U.S. champion or the German champion or the Danish champion, because it's official. It's has some weight to it.
Yeah, but I think it's a culture thing. How is it in Turkey, Havuk? Right now, it's not a part of the official game in the Turkish Sailing Federation. But if it's going to be that, will that grow the game?
Yeah, I mean, we are in touch with the federation right now, and of course, we are trying to prove ourselves. Meanwhile, because even I personally trying to see if there is a big enough community that are willing to do this, and this because this is something new, and we are experiencing it from the core. So I believe it's going to grow, and it's going to be something national and then international. Maybe we're also talking with, for example, Lucas Moore for maybe some team races internationally and some fun things to do like this.
I can see the future here. If there's not coming a national championship, then we might just do the Esailing TV Champions League or something like that, where each sailing club will have 5 players qualifying into the Champions League, and then we can see who might win, like a pro league, a pro tournament, and then we are all over the world with it. So.
Yeah.
But if you look at the international sailing in itself, the actual sailors, it's been in the last few years, it's been such an upcoming popular sport, with the GP races, with the Volvo Ocean Race, now the Ocean Race, with the America's Cup, et cetera, et cetera. There's such a big new media around it that makes sailing super popular. And then now we have a game to feed into it and play with it. So that's a really nice addition to the whole that the world sailing community has created. So I think it's a really nice addition to have these opportunities right here to race now the NACRA 17 as I'm looking at it, right?
Yeah,
yep. NACRA race.
So guys, you two know a lot about e-sailing. Can you please tell me how it is to race a NACRA? Havuk, will you start? You have been part of the World Championship. I saw you doing your work there. As I remember, it didn't go that well, wasn't it? That was the NACRA 17.
Well, NACRA is a very, very fast boat, and sometimes you have to think before you act. I mean, you have to really, really act fast, because if there's one millisecond lag in what you do, then you may get a penalty. So you have to be very careful about that.
Yeah. As you said, I call it, it's a finicky or a fickle boat, meaning it is responding so quickly in the beginning. And
Yeah,
if you do a wrong steer, meaning you sailing into the irons, as they call it, the boat slows down so much.
yeah,
So you really have to stay on top of being in the right angle, having a fantastic start with high speeds, with the right angle to the first reaching mark, and there is the most races are already committed in the first fifth of the race, meaning from the start line to the reach.
yeah. It's a foiling boat, so I mean, you have to use your foils, and you need to use it efficiently. So, in this game, it simulates it very well. That I mean, if you are using the foils, it really goes fast. But otherwise, you can see the dramatic drop in your speed.
Interesting. Everybody's hovering around the committee boat, which is very unusual for this kind of boat. I would see
Yeah,
with the bottom left boat, the blue boat, I would see more boats there because the wind angle is nice. You get probably a 90-degree angle to the mark, and off they
yeah,
go. And let's see how this is all going to unfold. There's already 5 penalties right there, and who's in the lead? It's Dark Bars again, the guy who
yeah,
won the
Doa,
last
yeah,
race. He's in the lead right there. Akun's in seconds, Tour 6, Omnu Chandin in fourth, Eric Ang in fifth. I mean, you see it yourself, and some people sail straight, other ones tacked over to the left. There is more wind to the left, so there might be a benefit.
yeah.
And Dog
So
Arms,
jibe set is the best thing to do in this race, I think. And now people are separating. You need to use the wind shift here, and you need to bear in mind that uh, strong wind doesn't mean that you're going to go fast, because this is a foiling boat, and every boat has a structure, you know. So even if you are in the sea breeze, you may slow down because this is a foiling boat. You need to be careful about your speed there.
right? It creates its own wind speed, basically. So if you have a wing like this, a wing boat with foils, it creates its own wind, basically, when it's moving forward. So you're right. But it's good to have some wind on your side. If you're sitting in light winds, no matter what boat you have, you'll slow down.
Yeah,
Um,
you need to find the critic side. You know,
right, the critical point.
some
Yes,
a
absolutely.
sweet spot in between.
Right, here we are looking again at Turk 1283 and being in first and trying to find a good position next to the blue boat, Dog Arbs. So
Doa.
these two are duking it out. The Turkish boat 6 also in third, not far behind at 21 meters. And so it's going to be a nice little rounding right here at the bottom gate. Let's see
Yeah.
what happens and who is going to get through it without any problems. I think
Oh, penalty.
penalty.
And he didn't come through the mark, so maybe
Did
he's.
he?
Boom, penalty. Another one because starboard port tack. And then
Yeah.
all the other boats. Look at the first 4 boats. 3 of them have penalties. Amazing slowdown.
So
So
Doa
the blue
is
boat,
way ahead right now. I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch him.
no, and he's extending his lead. So the 2 yellow boats have a nice little battle right there.
Yeah.
And Samet and Orkuns are right at it, only a couple of meters apart. This is going to be a dangerous moment right here.
Oh,
Oh,
clean.
safe. And again, the green and yellow boats are right there. Actually, they're fighting for second and fourth. And Doggart's in first. He's untouchable because of the speed and
Yeah.
the distance he already has.
So you see the left-hand side of the course looks a little bit better because you see there's the wind and the wind shift is coming from the left. So I prefer to be on the left, but going to the right, you know.
Be on the left side and then turning over to the starboard tack.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Being here where Turkmen he is. That's not the best position to be, but going to the opposite side was better.
Correct, because you have more wind on the right, but the wind sockets are looking, they're going to blow against you as soon as you start to jive over to going towards the gate. You'll be slowing down tremendously because you're sailing in a bad angle to the gate. And the boats on the left, like all the yellow boats, they're going to be tacking over right now, and they're going with the wind, meaning a better angle to the gate. And they're going to be way faster, shorter distance. Way to go.
It's always dangerous to tech at the lane line, so you will be defenseless. This is something that I'm trying to avoid, for example.
Meaning, say that again. Meaning, the
Taking
lane line is
taking
not good, right?
taking at the lane line, and I'm trying to avoid taking at the lane line because otherwise you're defenseless if somebody attacks on you.
Right.
And,
Here we go. We have a penalty right there. Turk 1-2 got penalized. Turk 6 got penalized for a moment. Orkun's got penalized. And Dogarbs is just going forward as he can. And Samet is in second now. Really nice coming back there. And Okagul in third. Also a good comeback for him. But they're 100 meters behind. So again, it goes about second and third and fourth who are duking it out. And we are right now at the last reach mark, going down to the finish line. And let's see who's going to come in. This is going to be a tight one between the three green broats. Who is going to be in? Boom, right there. Ekongul is in seventh.
Wow.
Turk in fourth.
Ah,
Nice finish. Oh, he didn't? Oh my
he
goodness.
didn't. Oh no. By the way, Martı is our technical director of Federation, sports director. So it's good to see he's also playing the game.
All right, he came in fifth, right? Or something. Seventh, eighth, I don't know. Yeah, eighth.
he came in 8th, and that's a good news that the technical director of the Turkish Federation are in this game. Maybe you should let him win a little bit so he could be more pleased about the game, and we're going to have it to
Yeah.
grow. But let's try to see this chart.
Oh,
Yeah.
confusing chart.
Since it's always the same color, it's hard to read. It's all yellow.
Yeah, this time it is. But look at the black one.
Right.
He has the best start. Then he got a penalty after the middle mark in the reach. He actually fell all the way down to position 8. Then he fought his way back upwind, doing a good race upwind. Then something happened at the gate mark. He got a penalty. That's the gate mark in the bottom mark. Then he got a penalty there and dropped down. And then we saw this huge amount of penalties at the last top mark before racing for the reach. The reach mark is number 6. So the last gate mark up there, number 5, there was a huge amount of penalties, and that helped him to jump back in position 6.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Again, in this boat with so many people on the race course, with 20 boats, you see a lot of changes because it's such a tight race course at that point. And so that's the fun and unique part about this game and having these club races with 20 boats, because you're learning how to dodge and give penalties and trying to go past things. And you may make it or you may lose it quite quickly. And the best can be first and or last, just because there's so much going on at the same time.
It is really nice. I mean, sometimes it is nice to start as an underdog. I mean, sometimes you have a bad start, but it is good to be able to climb back to the good positions. And this is really fun, actually, if you try to do your best. I mean, you need to use the wind shifts, wind strength, the speed of your boat, and position of your position of the other opponents. So it's actually based on tactics. So you have to do everything you can to climb back. So this is fun, actually.
Agreed.
guys,
And if I look at these charts, it always looks like a ladder in the later where you're coming up, back up. And
Guys,
always good
let
to
me show you a fun thing. We have been discussing how countries are using this platform for doing practice together with friends. Here we have 2 French guys. This one is a Portuguese. Then we have a whole team of Croatians. We have a whole team of Spanish sailors. We have some mixed sailors. Then we have a whole team of Switzerland. So, and today we also have 2 servers with only Turks in it. So using the custom race mode is actually a fantastic platform to play with your friends and grow the game.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
but it's only when you have, you can do a lot of practice racing. You can learn a lot on the course. Maybe take a friend on and say, hey, let's practice a little bit, and then chat while you're at it and talk about advantages and disadvantages when you're at it. So it's a really good practice form and a practice tool. And of course, if you want to do club racing like with 20 people, that's when the real fun begins.
So, Havuk, we're going into the next race. We're going into Group B. That's race number 4 today. We're going in. And then we have the first 4 races. No, we're going to have 5 races in the group stage, I can see. And then after, they will be divided into a gold fleet. So we will just wait for the next race to start. So until then, let's take a small break, take something to drink, and see this intro video about Esailing TV.
Influence on their focus, on their tactics in this race. An influence on their focus, on their tactics in this race.
And welcome to the dual mode. Welcome to the dual mode. 4 seconds. None of them doing a penalty. You can see it just following each other. We will follow them too.
What is king? What is king is not angled but wind speed. It's not angled but wind speed. If you can see our place on the course, like out of this looking at now on the left hand side of the course, you can see it's a little bit darker.
It's shifting, as you can see, it's more and more shifting. But it's always good to be on the right side first, because then you're on the counter attack when you go across the base, and you're in advantage that way, so nobody can penalize you whoever comes from the port side. Right? So nobody can penalize you whoever comes from the port side.
Second, Argentinian boat third.
And welcome back on Esailing TV. Well, today we are, for all of you new viewers in here, we are watching Turkey's online sailing club doing their first club race on Esailing TV. There are 65 members in the club, and all of them are actually trying to race today, but there's only room for 40 of them. So we have 2 groups, Group A and Group B, and today we're going into race number 4 for Group B. And with me in studio we have, of course, Havuk and Norman.
Yes, we are here. We're continuously helping you guys to understand the race and having fun while doing it, and getting excited, always talking about these people who are trying to steer that boat somehow with their phone or with their computer and making it happen. So it's a fun thing. And Havuk, I'm so glad to talking to you, because you're a really big racer out there in the world sailing community. And thank you for being part of this.
Thanks, Norman.
Havuk is not that happy of getting all these polite words. Normally when we're saying all the polite words at the World Championship, he was getting not red as a carrot, but orange like a carrot. And the next race is getting into the race. It's because Havuk and the ginger hair he had last year, it means the carrot in Turkey.
Yeah. The Turkish carrot. So we are racing in Star in the 4th race. Star is slow, but I mean competitive boat, right?
Yeah, the J70 is it's a tactical boat, so slower in the upwind, but once you turn the spinnaker up and you go downwind, that boat goes quick and throws a huge wind shadow on it. So lots of tactics on the downwinds to slow the other boat down with a big sail. and trying to penalize them or get past them somehow because you're reading the wind better,
Yeah.
whichever may it be.
So in the downwind, I'm very curious about the downwind because there is a huge wind shadow in the downwind in the star races. So mm, people leading should avoid this wind shadow, and we'll see how they react.
Right, 3 seconds to the start. Let's see how it all comes about. We have 20 builds. Boom, nice start. Puck of the penalties down there. And McKinney is in the lead, or is changing by the second. So let's see how it develops before we start talking about this. If you're looking at the wind shadows, everybody's going to the left because there's more wind. This boat likes wind to stay strong. And once they jive over, they're going to have the wind a better angle to the top gate.
So the wind is shifting left, and it is. I mean, the TUR 1000. If he managed to get past that boat, he would be first for sure. But I mean, even though they are in the favor, the starboard boats have the right. So uh, this is where it gets very confusing. You know, you have to make good tactics. You need to think about this second step while you start.
Right, but what I'm seeing right here, what the yellow boat is doing against the blue ones, they really tack them out a lot to
Yes.
penalize him, but he's losing so much distance to the gate, so that may not be the right choice at this point. If you look at the white and the black boat in the center there, they're in a really good shape. They're in a good position. Yusuf, that's it. And
Yeah.
the white boat is Turkish 886, your favorite racer. And let's see how they come into the gate. Yusuf is definitely in a good position, turning right now at the gate. And the other black boat going all the way to the other mark. He's going to lose
Yeah.
some distance with that. Oh, it's the star, not the J70. We're in the star boat.
So
Oh,
people at the front has to avoid the wind shadow, and the people at the back, they need to just try to catch the guys at the front. Let's see how
yeah,
they separate.
this is definitely the way to go. Now you need to throw wind shadows on these boats, try to be on the starboard side, and then penalize them, go past them, and this is how you gain spots. So if you're looking at Yusuf right now on first and the Turkish boat 82 behind him, he's trying to do that, but the other red and black boat behind him are holding him off, so we're not catch him. So the green boat in the center is trying to do, McKinney is trying to do the same to the right black boat, who's going to turn right in the moment at the gate, at the bottom gate. There you go. It's just turned around. So he's in second, Yusuf in first, Turkish 82 in fourth, and Kan Obertour in fifth. No, Akan in fifth. Sorry. Oh, it's changing by the second. The penalty right now, the Turk 886. How did that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
That was
Well,
a quick
let's see.
penalty. Okay. Gone. Continue. So now we're looking again.
So yeah, people
It
are
looks
separating right and left and trying to have a clear wind without any wind shadow. It is really hard to have a clear wind if you are at behind, and you need to go to the edges. And that manner, if there is a wind shift, which is not in your favor, then you would even lose more points, and somebody else would just get past you. So you need to be very careful about it. While avoid the wind shadow, you have to find the right side of the course.
right. The way it looks right now, Yusuf is going to be in the lead, and he's too far away from anybody to throw any wind shadow. So he's going to be first for sure. Then Bardins on the right side is in a similar situation. Nobody will throw wind on him, so he's going to be second for sure. The battle is going to happen right on the left side. The Turkish boat 82 and the black boat Kan Abutur. Those two will battle it out. That's going to be a fun race to watch right there, Thomas. If you
Yeah.
want to catch on that, these three boats right there are going to throw a lot of wind shadow, and somebody is going to make it happen. But
Yeah,
if
you
the
see, right now John is not going to the other boat because you see that committee has the advantage in the finish line, and the other red boat is already blocking the wind of the blue boat. So there is no need to go there, and just he's trying to go clear as possible to the advantage side of the finish line.
right.
So let's
So
see if he can pass him.
the thing they had have done, the blue boat should have gone towards the left side, towards the black
Yeah.
boat, and he would have helped to throw more wind shoulder on the other guy. So now he came in fourth rather than as third. And but that's how it goes. You learn while doing this. This game is to attack, not to go defensive. You have to go aggressive on this one to go anywhere. McKinney comes in ninth, and the yellow boats here, the three yellow boats, and 10th, 11th, and 12th, which is Shangia, Altikut, and Chennai in that order. Fifth is going to be, 11th gone. So here we go. First, Yusuf. Second, Bertens. Third, Shan Uputa.
Obuter.
How about you? Read it. You know how to read it. Come on.
Yeah, sure. Can Obuter third, Tour 82 fourth, Cem Gözen fifth, Tour 401 sixth, Tour 886. My friend seventh, unfortunately had a penalty. Octopus eighth, and Chennai, I think it's Munifcan Chennai ninth. Jihan is 10th, and I don't know who that guy is, Altın. And Saruhan Chennai is 12th, Yashar 13th, a Turkish guy 14th, and Ajan also 15th. But the last three are the SQ with 0 points.
Disqualified. Right, here we go again.
Yeah,
Look, chart.
you see, Yusuf didn't had a good start. He's in the middle, but he managed to stay clear of the boats, and he was able to climb to the mark clearly. So when he go downwind, the second boat couldn't even get the wind shadow of his sail. So he was first from the beginning.
But if I look at the third boat who came in, Can Obutur,
Yeah.
he was all the way in the bottom and came in third. And you can see how he came up after the first mark. He came all the way into fourth. And then the last mark, he, as we described it, he caught one more spot and came in third. Whereas the Turkish boat 82 was
you
all
know,
the way in the bottom.
yeah, Norman, sometimes we saw that some boats are driving you out of the lane line. So if you're clever and you do good tactics, then you're able to just sneak in, and you'll have a much better position.
Right, right. This is the beauty of sailing, guys who are learning about sailing. It's sometimes it looks like boring, but nothing happens. But there's all these tactical moves that are happening that you need to know. If you're in the lead with star 70 going downwind, if it's a starboat and going downwind, you got to stay out of the way somehow. And sometimes you even sail away from the ley lines to stay out of the wind shadow, and then you come back towards the start into the finish. And bingo, you never lost the space, and you never gave anybody the opportunity to take you over. So it may look boring, but there's a lot of thinking involved while you're doing it.
But one thing I've been discovering while we are watching this Turkish Sailing League sailing today is many of them are sailors, and they are beginners in e-sailing, so they know everything about sailing. We can see that at the way they react, the way they're sailing. But we can also see they're not that aggressive, and they are not doing that many penalties where they are doing the penalty or penalizing others or fighting for it. Because the penalties they get there is because either they sailed into another one or hit a mark.
There's something, if you're a real sailor, you try to avoid penalties and you try to avoid banging into another boat, because in real water, that's going to be expensive. So as an e-sailor, you learn how to be okay to run into another boat, because nothing's going to happen to your boat. You don't have to pay $10,000 to fix it. It's just a 10-second penalty mark and you continue. So that's something I had to learn, because I was afraid of hitting a boat, because I was thinking, damn, my money is going to be gone. But that's different in e-sailing, and that's something you have to learn as an e-sailor.
Yeah.
And while that is said,
I mean, come on, when you're out in the real water, and with your Optimist or with your 47 or 49er, you're not going to hit that boat. You're trying to avoid it.
You must avoid. I mean, even in real life of sailing, you need to avoid collision. If you don't avoid collision, then you're also penalized, actually. So this is actually like something ethical to do. I mean, just sportsmanship.
yeah,
So you need to
but guys,
avoid,
this is e-sport.
Yeah, but
e-sport.
yeah, this is
So here it's part of the game, using the
Right.
yeah,
rules. And I have to say to all of you out there, when we are speaking about esports, use the rules, use the game how it's designed. I know that we're not doing it in real sailing, and that's the difference between esport and sport. That here we're actually doing penalties to win the game. Or I'm wrong on it?
It's not always about giving penalties, you know. That's sometimes because I've noticed it as an example yesterday in the club races. I tried to give someone a penalty and doing it myself, and I ended up seventh rather being first. And so you need to know again tactically when to give a penalty or when to just leave it alone, even though you think you have the right of way. Just sail your race without worrying about someone next to you, even you could penalize. Unless it's very easy, boom, done deal, then you're really in the lead. It's not always about penalizing. Race your race is sometimes my motto.
But one thing we saw also in the club race yesterday was Azir battling. That was last week. We saw Azir battling SNPJ Luca, and the winner of that race, or those two getting the highest position, will win it. Then we saw Azir. He was let me show you guys. He was sailing close to SNPJ Luca in the start. So SNPJ Luca, when the start came, got a penalty for hitting Azir, and boom, SNPJ Luca lost that medal race and was not in the top lead anymore. So
yeah, it's part of the game. I mean, you need to make some tactics, even in real life of sailing. I mean, if you're in the medal race or the final gold fleet races, and you want to win something position, and if you know who you are competing against, you may just do these tactics even before the start. You know, so this is part of the game, as I say.
yeah.
Hey Thomas, if you don't mind, can we change the server because it seems like the picture is very.
Yeah, right now we are on the European server. Let's try to go a little bit closer to Norman. And what you're seeing now is we're just losing the picture with the other two guys, and then they're coming back. Hello, guys, and welcome back. It's because what we are doing now is we're streaming live where Havuk, he's sitting in Munich, Norman, he's sitting in Sarasota, Florida, and the studio where we're producing everything, we are placed in Denmark. So what we're doing now is actually having 3 different positions in the game, plus we are streaming the game online, and everything happens.
Right. The two of you are sitting in the cold weather in the fall day and cold and rainy, and I'm sitting in beautiful Florida with 20 degrees Celsius, blue sky, and the light breeze. Good weather for sailing, I would say.
And then we switch picture. We're getting ready for the next server. This is race number 5, and after this one, we're going in to have a medal race, a gold fleet. But what we're seeing here is just to say, see here we have an Italian league also playing, only Italians. So this phenomenon of doing club races is quite used around the world. And let's see, we're going into Group A in the last race. This is the Group A in the Turkish league today. So let's join them and see what they do.
Yeah.
Warming up, they're trying to find their position right now. As we talked about it earlier, it looks like a nice dark blue water. So we're going to have a lot of wind during the start, unless it changes in the next minute and a half. And Havuk, when did you start racing?
In real life or e-sailing?
Both.
In real life, when I was 7 years old, I started with Optimist, and then I continued with Laser, and until the university. And in the university years, I raced with my university team, and yeah, I have a Turkish national championship in Laser 4.7. And for the e-sailing last year, I mean, just before the Sarasota finals, just 1.5 months ago, one of my friends showed the game, and I started the game. And without even knowing that I was qualified, I was just playing the game, And then there was an email to me that saying, "Congratulations, you are going to Sarasota for the finals." And I was like amazed and couldn't believe. But yeah, that was my start. I mean, I wasn't playing, and suddenly I started playing because I liked it, and suddenly I find myself in the finals.
Well, that's a great story. And how did you
Yeah.
like Sarasota? Man, Sarasota is my hometown, so I know this by the book. I've been here for 27 years in this town. So tell me about how did you like Sarasota? Did you do anything besides the racing? Did you
Yeah,
have time to get
actually,
out?
yeah, we went to sailing actually with the yachts, and there were we, uh, we were like two boats, and some of the very famous sailors also joined us with the sailors, and we had a very nice tour around the Sarasota beach, you know, and it was really nice actually. Also, the weather was really nice, quiet town. We enjoyed our beers and stuff with everybody, with the e-sailors. And we the best side is in the annual conference, I managed to meet a lot of great sailors in the finals after the award ceremony, for example. It was really nice.
Right. Yeah, I was there and I remember it was a really beautiful event. And so that's a benefit. If you guys ever want to race, as we are seeing right now, 40 seconds before the start, for all you watchers and TV watchers, uh, if you are going to the top, you're going to connect with real sailors in the end if you go into the World
Yeah.
Championships. And Abu Dhabi will be the next location of the World Championship in 2020. So that's a
Hopefully.
real good let's go.
Yeah.
What?
We know the annual conference will go to Abu Dhabi, so let's hope the World Championship e-sailing also will be there.
10 seconds to start. Let's see how it goes.
Right. Good position again. It's a very even field, and the winds are similar, all along the same start track. Off we go. Penalty
Oh,
to penalty right away. That's not a good thing.
what a start.
I would go to the
Everybody
left.
really close to each other.
Right.
And
So
and even though the committee had the advantage in the first place, the wind shifted to left, and this provided to everybody to have an equal advantage overall. But of course, there's the starboard tack has the advantage if you see the overall, because they have the right of way.
right,
So we'll see if the people on the left side of the course, if they are going to be dragged out of the ley line, and how are they going to turn the mark?
right. I think Turkmen looking really good right now. Kormerdu just passed Okuns, but they're in his level. So looking all good on the left side right now. The right side, all the green boats over there, they're gonna
Yeah,
have a little interesting. This is gonna be very even coming in
yeah. I
the
mean,
way
the
it
right side
looks.
has the advantage, I think, because the wind is shifting to right now, and they're coming strong, I believe.
Right. And then I have the advantage of the starboard, so
Yeah,
good position. And we have the boats in the center, so this is a very even race, and it's going to be lots of red marks coming up. Let's see what happens if who can handle it the best. And boom, off we go.
wow,
Penalty right there to
another
Icon.
penalty.
Turk took it, and then on the
Yeah,
left side we have the black boats getting through nicely. And there's all these penalties, 5, 6 of them already. Downwind action happening, and I think it'd be good to be on the left side right now, for sure. The wind is strong, and these boats like lots of wind from behind.
yeah.
So Turkish boat 014, or Turi is called, right them getting,
Surreal. Yeah.
gave a penalty to Tour 6. And then
Wow.
the black boat is coming in.
Oh, another one.
Another
Another one.
penalty is in charge today. Wow,
Yeah,
good job.
it's really
So,
nice.
very nice protecting his position and giving penalties while doing it.
Yeah, the wind shift is quite unstable right now, and we see that it first of all it was like right hand side was had the advantage, but I think it's going to shift to left.
Right,
Not pretty sure about it, but if I was going in the first place, I would just control my opponents who was going to second place, third place, who were going close to me. So I would protect my
So
lead.
the Turk boat is really nice up front, 10 meters ahead of everybody. Very good position.
Yeah.
The blue boat and black boat coming right there, going to be behind it. And the other two boats, the pink and the blue boat, those two are going to get some wind shadow from the other boats. So they're going to lose a little bit of meters.
Oh, yeah.
And is he penalizing? Boom. Nope.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Penalized. That's what I thought. He to
Rule
turn
11. So
wow, that was a good move.
Tour 6 is turning the mark as the first guy, and he has a very good advantage, I believe. So
Right.
if he stays out of the wind shadow, and if he managed to finish at the committee boat side of the finish, I think he'll win the race because the committee boat has the advantage in the finish line, as you see.
Well, it looks like they're definitely having the battle because tour 106,
He
193,
backed
sorry.
away. Oh,
Why did he do that? He should have stayed on that because he would have a chance to get him possibly down.
exactly. So I think it's going to be an easy one for Tour 6.
Right.
Göker Takas, his name. So
Right.
I think he's going to win this race.
And here you can see the wind shadow on the Turkish boat, the black boat, and the blue boat right here. That's happening with the green boat. The four right there throwing each other, lots
Yeah.
of wind.
Tour
And
6
here's a
won.
penalty opportunity.
Let's see. Doha is fighting against the other guys and has the advantage.
Right.
And yeah,
The wind shadow happen. He's going to win it. Wow.
5th place. Yeah.
Right. The thing is to commentate this kind of racing, it's so much actioning happening towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
And so I apologize not being able to name all these names. Focusing on just you see it for yourself. We can just describe what's happening and
Norman,
Got-
aren't you familiar with these names? It's very easy to spell, you know. You can, I believe you can pronounce it.
Guys, before I'm sending over a whole package of handkerchiefs so you can dry your eyes doing commentary, then remember when I'm doing the commentary, I'm also doing the studio view and the in-game view. So guys, come on in the game. No, it's okay. But what's interesting is if you watch how Tour 014, position 4, he came in at 4, how he actually managed to go around the fightings. The fight was between positions 7, 6, and 5, but he was in the middle and he just managed to come in front of them because he was not in a fight and actually won 3 positions on that downwind race. So good racing by him.
Yes.
And
nice one.
If we see it here, we can see it here. See there where it's coming. Tour 014. We can't see that, but actually at the top mark he lost very much position, and then he had to really fight for position 4.
Yeah.
he came back all the way from the bottom. So Tour 6 in first, Tour 193 in second, Orman Dandinci in third, 2014 in fourth,
Doha 5th, Turkish boat 6th, Ercan 7th, Cenkürk 8th, Kerim Ordu 9th, Itak is 10th. I think he climbed and dropped down, and Turkmen 11th, Eren Koncagül 12th, Martı our technical our director, sports director 13th. Alican 14th, Berkay 15th, Samet 16th, Orkun 17th, Ajan 18th, and Gurbuz 19th.
Good race overall, definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
So fantastic race we saw here in the last group, and what we're seeing right now is how the Turkish league group are getting better and better to race, but also better and better to organize. So we're really pleased to be part of this event. And I have to say, Havuk, we're going into a gold fleet now. Is that right?
Yes, right now we are going to Gold Fleet, and in both groups, the top 10 players are going to qualify for the Gold Fleet, and in total 20 boats are going to race for the medal race in the Gold Fleet. So we will see the top 8 after this race, and they are going to race in the CLGP. Which we had done in Bermuda this year. It's a very different boat. It's unlike unlike any other boats. It has a very different tactics strategy. You have to just think in another way. It's something different.
I have to
Yeah,
say,
so you better put your head on
yeah.
and go.
Yeah, clean seas. If Havuk, if you can communicate with the guys as you're doing, you're organizing it. If we can have a scoreboard, I will be pleased, because before going into the medal race, it will be nice to see which score each boat has, so we can follow the two last races and see how close they are in the scoring. Because
Sure,
I know in this case
I'll
it
do
will
that.
be. We will be back after a small break. See you guys in a few minutes.
To catch, and that will have an influence on their focus, on their tactics in this race. An influence on their focus, on their tactics in this race.
And welcome to the dual mode. For a second, welcome to the dual mode. For a second, none of them doing a penalty. You can see it just following each other. We will follow them too.
What is king? What is king is not angle but wind speed. Is not angle but wind speed. If you can see our place on the course, like out of us looking at now on the left hand side of the course, you can see it's a little bit darker.
It's shifting, as you can see, it's more and more shifting. But it's always good to be on the right side first, because then you're on the starboard tack when you're going towards the boat, and you're in the country that way, so nobody can penalize you, whoever comes from the port side. Right? So nobody can penalize you, whoever comes from the port side.
Italian. Oh, why? This is a close one. Philistine winning. Fanny Battle second. Argentinian boat third.
While we are waiting for the scoreboard to come in, we will be here at the moment, and I have Havuk and Norman with me in studio, and right now we don't want to watch them at the moment, because Havuk is quite focused on doing a scoreboard, so we can see who the 20 skippers are going into the Gold Fleet. There will only be one Gold Fleet race, and then top 8 from there will go into a medal race, but they will take all the points they're having in the 5 first group races with them into the Gold Fleet. And Havuk, will there be any discard today?
Yes, Thomas. There is going to be one discard in 5 races. First 5 races. There won't be any discard in the following 2 races, including the medal race, of course. But the medal race is like twice the points as always.
As always. That's fantastic news. And Havuk, when the scoreboard is ready, you can just send it in the Discord group to us. Then we will place it in my studio and get ready for it. For all of you watching us at the moment, also to newcomers coming in, what we are watching today is Esailing TV. We have traveled all the way to Turkey. No, we're still standing in Denmark, but we are in Turkey today doing with one of the online sailing clubs, the Turkish Esailing Club there. It's organized by Havuk, one of the participants at the World Championship 2018 and 2019. And there are 65 racers already in the club. It's the same thing as we're watching on Mondays. We are watching the VRE Sailing Club doing races there. And there are almost 80 members at the moment there. And that's where Norman normally is placed there as Wind Whisperer in that group. So what we experience, as we've been telling before, we experience that the game is growing and growing and growing, and we love to do streaming. So if you have an online sailing club, doing a lot of races, as we have been seeing today, the Switch League, the Italian League, a Spanish League. Please write us on Esailing TV, and then we might choose to show your club race one of the days in the week. So, Norman, we are doing Esailing at the moment. It's growing and growing and growing, and today we've been seeing the Turks playing. What do you think about the level they've been playing in today?
It looks like there's a few really good sailors in there. Besides Havuk not sailing, I think he was somewhat dominated, or be right there in the top 5. But it looks like that we only watched the one team. We never saw the other team, so I cannot quite comment here on the second. Yeah. The second team that's going to be right now in the...
Yeah, we have been watching all teams, both teams today, so they have been racing okay level. I've been seeing 4 boats doing a good result, but here's the scoreboard. We just got it. We have placed it up here. Let me just zoom it a little bit out to all of you viewers so you can see a little bit more, and then I will move my corpus a little bit away. So, at the moment in the lead, we have Tour 6 with 7 points. That's amazing.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, and Dugrabs, or how do I say that, Havuk?
Doa. You can say Doa.
Dora, he's with 9 points. And
yeah.
Third place, please help us, Havuk, who's in third?
Onur Mandalinci is in the third place. By the way, just Group 8. The first 10 players are going to be qualified for the finals.
Yeah.
And in the 4th position, we see Alp, and 5th position Kerim Ordu, 6th position Alp, with Tour 193, and 7th position Evren Kongegül, I'm sorry,
yeah.
And 8th position Samet, 9th position Ercan, and lastly Cenk Yörük is in the 10th position. So these guys are going to be in the gold fleet. And if we can take a look at the Group B, we may see the other 10 guys.
I will just go in and get Group B. It's coming in here, so 2 sec. I will just open it and place it in there for us. So now Group B will come on the big screen. There we go. This is Group B.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, so Tour 886 is one of the favorite players. He is in the first position, and Can Abuter is in the second, Yusuf in third. We have an unnamed guy registered at the last second, probably. He is in the 4th position. Cem Gözen 5th, Bahadır 6th, Münifcan 7th, and Kubilay Tour 401 8th. Acan Emre Bilgen 9th, and last but not least Saruhan Çınay in the last 10th position. They're going to compete in the gold fleet.
Yeah, and this is quite interesting. The 2 leading boats in each group has 7 points. That's very important in the next race. And second place in the first group had 11, and second place in Group B has 10 points. So it's quite close in top 6, or the 3 first boats in each race. That's amazing. That's amazing.
And since I know V. Ergensen as a good sailor, I'm surprised he's not in the top 10. And so based on that, you asked me the question earlier how I think these club races are going. I think they're excellent sailors all around. And we're going to see some good racing coming up here in the gold race for sure.
Yeah. And one thing we also experience is, I think VG Ogürsen, he lost his momentum because the penalty he got in the top mark. He was in the lead. He was in the lead with 42 meters, hit the mark on the inside. So he has to turn around going upwind, and then he dropped from 1st position to 12th position, and then he disconnected.
Yeah, disqualified because he disconnected. I think that might have caused even the problem, because he had a problem with his steering, because he lost connection to the server.
So we are getting ready for the next server. I can see it's going to be created now, Havuk. It's one gold race coming in, where all the top 20 skippers, top 10 in each group, are getting points, and top 8 then will only go to the medal race. So let's see how it will go. and we can see the servers just being created here. They're coming in nice and slow. So Havuk, if you're going to speak a little bit about some of the players, you have been speaking a little bit about this guy I called Dogbrass. You have been speaking about Meaty and also Tour 886. So how these players are all of those we're seeing today from the sailing community, or are they also non-sailors?
Yeah, most of course, all of them are sailors, and I know some of them from my sailing career, and they're also yacht sailors. Some of them are yacht sailers at the moment, racing frequently in Istanbul, Izmir, so in Turkey. So yeah, there are very good sailors actually out there, and it's some. I think for them it's a matter of getting used to the game in the early stages. So if they are getting better, controlling better during their development stage in the game, they'll have a much better position. Speaking of which, these guys are all good sailors.
Yeah. And this is why we can see when they're doing the race here, they're acting like sailors. They know the strategy, they know the tactics, they can read the radar. It's such a pleasure to see. But we can also see that they are quite new to the game. As I said earlier, they're not penalizing each other. They're not taking any risk. Better be safe than sorry. But when we see a player like yourself and Wind Whisper, we normally see you guys, if you can't do it, then you penalize the opponent just beside you. So 20 skippers, 1 gold fleet. We are getting ready. And Norman, what do you want to say into that with the penalties?
Again, with the penalties, most of the time I can see myself penalizing if I can, not to be a pirate. But again, I'm keep learning that sometimes I have to race my race without worrying too much that somebody's coming too close, because it may, in the end, turn out to be making a mistake and you get penalized yourself and you lose the race that way. So sometimes just stay focused on your course, follow your nose, and off you go.
Yeah. So, for example, Ajan, the boat Ajan is Mr. Emre Bilgen, and he's one of our trainer in Istanbul Sailing Club. He's an optimist trainer for the beginners, and he's a very good guy. He's competing in this virtual sailing, and I think it is really good for also a trainer to compete here, and I think they may even encourage the youngsters to play and maybe develop themselves in analytically during these races. You know.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. And here we go.
1 minute to get in position. We are in the 49er. So it's going to be a fast, strategic, and tactic game. They're going to slide with it. So who do you think will go all the way? Will the 2 leading boats, Tour 82 and I couldn't remember who was the leading and the other one. Let's go in and watch.
Well,
Yeah.
882, 886 and Tour 6 were leading in all the other groups, and so I think 1 minute. I think people are just quitting because somebody isn't in the race right now. Let me see. Um, I don't know what's happening right now. If people just
There are 15 players at the moment, so 5 players are missing out, but there's 20 seconds to start. As we normally say in the admin team, this is how it goes. So it's the Gold Fleet, and Havuk, you're the admin. Are we going?
yeah,
Are we not
right.
going? There we are. 5 seconds to start.
So yeah, the start is on, and yeah, we see
Penalties.
Ajan having a good start, and from the right hand side, there's a shift to the right as you can see, but the left side of the course has a wind shift to the left. But I think it's clever to stay in the middle because you and will
Yes,
yes
I can.
I can. Mhm.
we are in the left-hand side at the moment. We're just switching link here. Havuk and Norman are still with me. We're just switching server because Havuk is sitting on a hotel Wi-Fi. There's a Kate coming in. So right now it's Kan Obuto. They are in the lead.
Yeah, Can Obuter is a good sailor. I think he's in the second position in his group. He was in the second position. He's a promising sailor, and you saw that Tour 886 is catching up, and it's a
We're going to have
close
a little bit of
one.
a congestion going on right now at the top mark when these boats coming in from the port side, because they're here we go, 1, 2 penalties, 3, there's a third, nope, second, keeps it nicely. Yusuf giving the penalty to the other boat, and there's a more coming up, crunching, boom, 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 1 penalty, lots of slowdown time. So go back to the front, here we are. Wind that was being thrown. Chan is leading still, and Brizan in second. And then two are duking it out at the bottom mark. Both are going to the right side. No,
Yeah.
they're splitting up. Okay. Good.
Okay, tight mark turn. All right.
Penalty
So
right to Ashan, got a penalty. Who was good in space, but now he has a penalty, slowing down. The other people are going to catch up with him. Yes, he just ran into the mark, so he didn't miss it. But then somebody's in the irons right there, stalled the boat, not going anywhere. So
Can and Badr are competing for the first place. They're quite close to each other, and Tour 886 is close to the third place, and he's going to compete against Onur in the downwind. So the guys are quite close to each other, and let's see how they're going to fight with each other in the downwind. Because you looking at the map at the left hand side, there's some good wind, and the sheet is in your favor too.
Right, these two boats definitely having at it, and he's going to tack over both. Boom, throwing some wind on him. 15 meters, 14 meters. Now he's going to win this race.
Yeah.
No changes there, but a nice try.
Yes.
No changes. Now the shift is happening up there in 5th and 6th. Lots of things right there. That's where the action is. And nice try. He went away from it, so he did not get penalized. These two are going to finish it out in the finish line. It's going to be a tight race. See who's going to come in. The Turkish boat, the white one, in 4th. 5th is Turk. 5th, 6th is Kamordu. 7th is Erank, and 8th is Ajan. All right.
Ajan, yes. So, all right. Let me try to get that for you.
Yusuf came in at 14th. That's late. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. So Can won the race, and quite easily, I suppose. And Bahadur tried to catch up. Onur, 3rd place. 886 Barış is in the 4th place. Tour 401, 5th place. Kerim Ordu, 6th place. Ercan, 7th. Ajan, 8th. Tour 6, who was leading the Group B, I suppose, is 9th place. Cem Gözen, 10th place. Tour 193 is 11th. Eren Koncagur, 12th. Yusuf T, 13th. Tour 82, 14th. And the other Turkish boat, 15th. Altınkut, 16th. Munifcan Chennai, 17th. And I suppose that's it. Some of our guys, unfortunately, they were disconnected during the start, after the start. So, for example, Doğa Arıbaş, he couldn't race this race, unfortunately. But unfortunately, sometimes even in real life, things happen. Like you break your mast, you break your rudder, and there may be some unfortunate situations that you face. So we can maybe match things like this to disconnection, you know.
So in this case, his boat broke down, or he didn't have internet. So that's why he disconnected. And I have to say again, if we go into the result here, try to watch here, guys. Position number 6, KR Mordur. Oh, how do you say it, Havuk, number 6?
I'm sorry, I'm just I cannot see right now. Sorry.
Okay. It's number 6. It's KR Mondur, and the most impressive part here was actually he was so close of getting 4th, but he went
Yeah,
away.
third place.
Yeah, he went away from the fight because he did the sailor thing. When they came close to each other, he tacked away for not getting penalizing the other one or breaking his boat, and that small tack away cost him 2 positions, and then he was out of the race.
Yes. Yes, I mean, sometimes you avoid taking risks, and you may find yourself in the disadvantage area of the course. But sometimes it's worth taking risks because if you get penalized and you find yourself at the very last stages, then it's much harder to compete and get back to the first place. So I can understand just avoiding penalties and try to stay clean. But sometimes you find yourself at the post side of the course, of course.
Yeah. And I just got the scoreboard. Is that correct, Havuk? The scoreboard you just sent it to me?
I think that's the early one. I'm still waiting for the top 8 right now.
Okay. But then let's watch the scoreboard as it looks like before. We're just getting a little bit smaller because this time, oh, we don't move me around the studio. Let's just move the scoreboard around the studio here. And
So,
let's see it up here. This is
I
how
think,
it
let me
looks.
see.
And then
I just, yeah, I think I just send you the correct one.
Okay, let's get the new scoreboard in and let's see how it's going. I can see we have been going to see a lot of changes. This is the scoreboard, how it looks like before we're going into a race. 7, 7, 9, 12, 12, 13, 20, 20. And there we have to remember they're playing with one discard here in the game. So
Yes.
there we're going
in the first 5 races, there's one discard, and in the 6th race, unfortunately, there is no discard, and you see that some of the guys who were disconnected, they have 18 points, such as Doğa. He was actually in a very good position because he didn't have a discard. He's in a bad position right now.
I can do the math first. You need to have race number 6 in this mathematics also because it's giving us the same numbers as before because race number 6 hasn't been calculated into the final score. So please go in and make it in.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so, let me take a look.
Yeah, it's cool. This is why we are doing this together and growing it up. But again, we can see the result from race number 6. 4 points to the leading boat, 1 point to the boat in 2nd place. Yusuf getting 13 points. That will be a costly one. Tour 6 with 9 points. Then we have Onomanda Dalensi. I'm not a Turk yet, but I will learn soon with 3 points. And then we can see how they're getting points downwards. And we can see they're getting 18 points for the disconnection. This means also that Dogbas or Dugas, he is losing points at the moment. You just sent it to me, Havuk?
Sorry, I'm just working on it.
Oh, cool. It's okay. We are waiting for it. And Norman, while we're seeing that, that's going to be a very close medal race for one of the first times for a long time here today.
Double points as well, and it's going to be first and second going to have 12 and 13 points, so 11 and 13 points. So very close racing there.
Yeah, and we're going to do the EF50, and while we're waiting for the scoreboard here, the EF50, Norman.
I remember sailing the EF50 for the first time, and that was the club races, and I happened for the first time joining the medal race, and all of a sudden it's when GP was introduced to the race, and I'm like, we're racing what? An E50, and I was like, I haven't even raced this boat. So it was the first time in the medal race that I raced the E50, and it was like, what a monster.
Yeah, what
a monster because it's so fast and it's such a big boat and it's a Formula One boat. I mean, that boat is just massively fast, foiling, finicky. You have borders, meaning you have to watch out not racing into the borders, etc., etc. It's a whole other dimension of sailing when you go into the E50 sailors.
Yeah, but also this is one of the boats you have the boundaries, but also one of the boats like the NACRA 17 and the F18. You need to come from behind. You really need to time it well. And I remember when I saw the medal race at World Championship, Havuk, how hard it was for you guys at the World Championship to actually to sail the EF50.
Well, we had to, of course, get used to it first after the playoffs, and we weren't aware of that we are going to race in the finals. But we liked the boat, and the VR team really developed during the periods. Because in the early stages it wasn't very good, but lately they developed the boat, and we really liked the boat, and it had a really different strategy. So if you your regular strategy usually doesn't work in the CLGP races, but if you find how it works, a different strategy, then you may win easily, but you have to have really good tactics. You must not do too many maneuvers, for example, because it's actually heavy, but when it goes fast.
Then it goes fast, and that's right. And we can see a maximum speed in the game. The maximum speed I had experienced is 94.4 knots.
Really? Wow.
No, 49. Sorry, it's me.
40.
I'm a little bit 49.4 knots.
I was able to break 53 or something.
Yeah, but that's the fastest I've been seeing you guys racing it. So if they're hitting more than 53, that's amazing in this race. So I can see you, Havuk, it's okay. We have the final list. If the players just go into the server, then I will tell it. It's going to be Tour 886 is one of the boat. Then we have Khan. He is the second boat. Yusuf T is the third boat. Tour 8 is the fourth boat. This long name,
Onur Mandalinci.
He's the fifth boat, and then we have the no name as number 6. Then we have Cem
Gözen 7th and Bahadur Deniz 8th.
Yeah.
And this is not the final results. I think my friends are trying to correct the sheet, I suppose, because we had too many people trying to register to the game. We really had a hard time to organize. Like there were like 50 people trying to register themselves, and we tried to separate the groups to A, B, and put some backup guys, such as for the substitutes. And it was really hard to organize, frankly speaking, because I'm in Munich right now. My friends are in Turkey, in some other places. And so out of nowhere, we are trying to organize something. So it's quite tough for us. And this is the baby steps that we are taking right now.
But
So,
don't worry, we know that it's the first time you're live on Esailing TV. It's the Turkish Sailing Club. But I can say that all the persons in the chat are writing, especially Velista 771 is saying, good job, Havuk. And he also cheered on Tour 886 to come back in the race. So, and they are really glad of it. So just continue what you're doing. We are glad to see the Turkish League starting up. So we are getting ready for the medal race when you guys are ready. So how long do you think it will go, Havuk?
I think there's just 1 minute, please.
Okay,
he said,
then we will go on a small commercial break because we won't see Norman smile all night. He's sitting there smiling himself and having fun. So if you want to see more Esailing TV, you can follow us here. Hi, you're watching Esailing TV. Hope you like what we're doing. If you want to see more, please follow us on the social medias. Go on Facebook, write Esailing TV. Then you come into our fan page. If you follow us, subscribe or like us, then you can see our live shows and get a notification of it. But there's an 8 seconds delay on Facebook. You can also see when we're doing highlights. We'll pop them up there, and small news with pictures. You can like, share with your friends what we're doing, share your interest. Hope you will join in. But if you're more the video type, then go to YouTube. Esailing TV channel here. has a live feed also. There's a 6 seconds delay, but it's fantastic on YouTube. All our videos is saved forever, so you can see what we've been doing the last year, also the highlights. Example, here's Norman and I having fun with the chat, getting questions from the chat, and it was so fun. But if you want to see the live shows straight away without any delays, then go on the Gamers Universe, Twitch TV, right Esailing TV. There's a 2 seconds delay. So in here, it's if you want to see the shows live. All live shows will be deleted after 14 days. But you can do your own highlights, clip it out, and it will be saved forever. And then some of you said, hey, Twitter. Yeah, we are on Twitter. Go on Twitter, right Esailing TV. We're also doing live shows on Twitter. But again, there's an 8 seconds delay on the live shows. But you can see some tweets when we're out traveling. You can get direct notifications when we're doing activities. In here, we are doing a lot of pop-up news, but we are having a lot of fun. You can share and like what we're doing. And of course, Instagram is also there. But Instagram, we're not doing any live shows on. We're only doing pop-up news. So here you can see what we're doing of crazy things. And trust me, we'll be better to do a lot of more crazy things in here. Example, we met L1's nail shop in Liverpool. Or the highlights show from the World Championship. We also informed about it here. Hope you're enjoying what we're doing in Esailing TV. See you on the servers. And welcome back on Esailing TV. We just got the result, the scoreboard in here, so let's watch it again. Now we can see the right numbers up there. Tour 886, so Willis the 7-1 had right. He is going to the final top 8 with 11 points, but Khan also have 11 points. That is going to be a very close one in the EF50 medal race. Then we have Tour 6 and Havuk, please help me again.
Onur Mandalinci is in the 4th place, Yusuf T 6th place, Bahadur 7th, and Doa is 8th, I think.
He's
having
7th. It's
7th place, sorry.
It's
And
7.
Cem Gözen, who managed the medal race in the last place.
So those are the 8 skippers we're going to watch in the EF50, the medal race, when it's coming up. So Havuk, good race tonight. You're getting a lot of good vibes in the chat. They're saying great job. It's fantastic to see the Turkish Sailing Club growing, and also all the other sailing clubs out there. The Italian, we saw the Spanish. So guys, keep doing the job here.
Thank you. I mean, this is just the beginning. I think not only me, but also every guy in the group, if they like this community, if they support it, and together we can accomplish much more. And I'm personally planning much bigger things in the near future. So I think it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be international. So let's see how it goes. I mean, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, we're really glad to hear that. Let's start the final. Let's see how it goes. I can see all 8 players are in there. It's the EF50. Norman and Havuk, please help us through the game.
Sure. All right. So
we have a restart. That's going to be number 1. So good positioning again at the start line. Full speed on when the time clicks to 0. Very important. And the risk is, if you're on the leeward or windward side, that you can easily get penalized by the boats coming up because of a reach start. So lots of tactics again. Speed is very important. And we're looking at the wind sockets, the center. What do you say there? What do you know how we're looking like? Pretty good there?
So yeah, I mean, people trying to get good position from the leeward and with maximum speed.
Here we go.
And
0, off we go.
So and of course, because of the rule 18, people want to be near the mark. And let's see, Tour 886 turned the mark first and jibed immediately, and he's competing with Tour 8. Tour 6 right now. And we can see that some of the wind is actually at the other side of the boat. Maybe Doha will be able to catch up with the guys. And yes, you see, wow, it was a close one, and there's a separation at the downwind mark. And yes, you see Doha tacked immediately after turning the mark, going to the gust at the left-hand side of the course. And yes, you see he's actually leading right now, I think. And Tour 886 is at the right-hand side. He has an advantage in the manner of the wind shift. So depending on the gust, he may have an advantage against Doha, who is coming from the left-hand side. But right now, you see there is a huge shift to the right. So this might be even advantage for Can Obuter that we are seeing right now, the red boat, and see how it goes for him. Let's see him.
The winds are shifting back, so the
Yes,
positioning will not be as good the way it looks. I
yes.
think the Turk 6 and Turk 886 are in a really good position, even though now he got, what did he get penalized for? Did he run into it? I didn't see it, it was too far away. Held the
Oh, hit the
boundary.
boundary.
Oh, that's a
Yeah, I
bummer.
mean, it's the silliest penalty ever, because I mean you have to obey the boundaries in this sail GP part of the game, and the boundaries make this race more competitive, because otherwise, since the boat you don't have to make too many maneuvers tactically. If there was no boundaries, then the guy who's going to the edge of the course would win. So this makes sense. This makes sense actually.
So after the round marking going back downwind, we have Dogarts going in first, Turk 6 in 100 meters behind, which is quite a bit, but then 100 meters can be quite fast absorbed in these fast builds because we're going 37 knots,
Yes.
30, 40 knots, 42 knots, so really fast. The red boat right there, Sean is trying to catch up and trying to battle for second or third. Let's see how that's going to play out once they're going back to the downwind mark. Dorgar's
Yes.
again turning around at the mark right now, going to the right of the course, and the other two are going to stay on the left side. So they're going to split up.
And this is very important.
Oh,
Arkan with a penalty. I have to go in because this is the fight for the first position. This is 2886 against Khan. Both of them are equal in points. And right now Khan got the penalty.
yeah, this is really costly. I mean, in a fast boat like this, if you get penalized, the other guys are going to catch you for sure. And right now, John is at the bad side of the course, and I think he's going to struggle a lot because there's a huge wind shift to the right, and you see the boats are passing him by, and he's losing some place here. You see.
Right. So now when they drive over back to the starboard tack, they're going to be in a good wind advantage because of the windsock is going from right to left. So here we go.
Wow.
See that just shifting? Boom.
Yes.
Now he's
Enormous
right
shift.
to the lane line. Right. He missed that turn. He missed that
Yeah.
shift. So he sailed all the way out there. He didn't have to. So
Yes.
Sean is in a good position again. He's in,
Oh, a hit from behind. So yeah.
right. So Sean is in a good position again right there.
Yeah.
Being in fourth. Not too bad. These
Yes.
two, of course, racing for first and second. But
Oh,
886,
come on. Oh, that's
you get nervous when you're in that
yes.
kind of position.
And see,
Unlucky.
Khan come back in the race to a 8-8, lost his position, losing wind. This can be costly. He can lose his first position now and a
Oh
penalty.
no.
Oh, it couldn't be worse.
A penalty to Turk 886. So I think Sean has a chance to take this first Esailing TV Turkish Championship right there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him go. Now they're reaching into the finish line. He's going to be third the way it looks for sure. Ooh, somebody just disconnected?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
No. There are only 8 players in this race.
Yeah. So
But
yeah.
see,
I mean,
886 with that mistake in the top. Going
yeah. I mean,
upwind,
this.
get a penalty. going from 4th to 7. Wow, that's
Last
costly.
last downwind is the most crucial stage of the race, and if you make a mistake, there is no time to make it up.
Right. You snooze, you lose, as they say. Now.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah.
So the one player that couldn't get into the golden race was winning this middle race. That's a good thing for him. Then we have Turk 6 getting second. Khan, he was looking to get 5th but ending up 3. Yusuf 4. Then we have the long name again, Havuk, getting 5th.
Yes, on Onur Mandalinci. You can just say Onur.
Honor.
And 6th Bahadur is 6th place. Tour 886, Barış Koncagül in the 7th place. I think he's not used to race with CLGP.
No.
And Cem Gezen, who's also old laser and fin sailor. He's in the 8th place. I think he's also not very familiar with the CLGP boat because these two guys were playing the game just before me, before I even started to race the game. And when I was racing, they just quit because they were racing in a regular way.
Yeah.
So now we were able to take these guys back to the game. So I think we're gonna have some fun with them too.
Yeah, I just have to answer the chat. No, Havuk is not racing today. He's doing commentary and organizing all we're seeing here. So he has been doing such a good job, being a little bit stressed at getting questions from Norman and he and me and doing commentary and organizing a race, calling home to Turkey from Munich where he's sitting in a business trip and having fun with Virtua Regatta. But see here, Norman, 3 penalties to Tour 886. And the last one was the costly. Wow.
Right. He could have won this game and would have been first, I think, in overall.
Yeah.
But I think in a moment we'll see the overall chart and see who actually came first, second, and third in the overall racing because it's double points.
Yeah, and normally we say the person getting the best start is the winner. And that was Tour 886. And this time, no. So we can see here how it's developed. See, Tour 886 got the first penalty after Mark 3, bam, dropping down. Got a penalty at Mark 5, bam, dropping down. That was the boundary he hit. Then he got a penalty at the top mark, losing momentum and dropping down to 7. And at that moment, he could actually be in front of Khan and taking the win. But let's go in and see the result. I will just download it here so we can see who's winning.
So yeah, John won the race actually.
Hey, you're saying it before it's coming on screen. So here we go on screen. And 2 sec, I'll just make it bigger for all of you, and it's placed in the middle of my head. So let's go in and see it. Havuk, please help us let here.
Yeah, Can Obuter won the race. He had a good race in the medal race. He wasn't in a good position, but he managed to come back. And we saw that Tour 6, Göker and Tour 886 made some silly mistakes during the mark. And it was costly for them. At the end of the day, they couldn't win the race over Can Obuter. And we saw that Onur Mandalinci hang good. Doğa Arıbaş won the last race, and unfortunate for him, he was disconnected in the 6th race. I mean, if he had an average race, I think he would be in top 2, I suppose. Yeah, so he was unlucky about it. Yusuf Tunç finished 4th in the last race.
But Havuk, I'm just saying one thing. There's no double points in the middle race here. So actually, Tour 886 is dropping down to position 5.
Really?
Yeah.
So let me see.
If he's unlucky, 6 actually.
No, Thomas, there are double points.
Are there double points? No.
We're at 11 first. Sean had 11 points, came in 3rd, so that's 6 points.
Okay. We can't see it. That's me. Sorry, it's me.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, in the first 5 race, there's one discard. Sorry for the Excel sheet.
Yeah.
And in the 6th and middle race, there is no discard, unfortunately. So, and there's double point in the middle race, but I think the points are correct. So I think this is the final result. The results, if you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, but fantastic, Havuk. How does it feel to do the first club race in Esailing from the Turkish Esailing Club on Esailing
Well,
TV.
I'm really excited, and I hope everybody who joined this race enjoyed and have fun during the races. And because this is something unique, you don't do this too often, and just even just penalizing each other and making fun of each other is something nice to you know to you that you have fun. And yeah, hopefully in the near future we'll do something more, something more interesting, something international, and hopefully we may do this club racing official for Turkish sailing. So let's see about that. It's promising.
Yeah, it looks promising. Do you also think that, Norman? It really looks great what he did tonight.
Congratulations. It was fun to commentate on it. Havuk, thanks. I want to see you race because you are a huge part of this community and one of the excellent sailors. So next time I want to see you be on the course and show them how it's done and see how you can compete with them.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Okay.
putting it up and on, and we'll see more of you all. Thomas?
Well, I may need some help from Lucas Moore and other guys organizing the race.
You will
But,
learn,
yeah.
Havuk. You will learn. I just have to say to all of you, thank you for watching tonight. It has been a great pleasure, and thank you to Norman and Havuk for joining in on Esailing TV.
Thank you.
What a pleasure, and hope to all of you to share and follow and like what we're doing on Esailing TV. Have a good evening, a good night, and a good morning.
Bye bye.
Hi, you're watching Esailing TV. Hope you like what we're doing. If you want to see more, please follow us on the social medias. Go on Facebook, write Esailing TV. Then you come into our fan page. If you follow us, subscribe or like us, then you can see our live shows and get a notification of it. But there's an 8 seconds delay on Facebook. You can also see when we're doing highlights. We'll pop them up there, and small news with pictures. You can like, share with your friends what we're doing, share your interest. Hope you will join in. But if you're more the video type, then go to YouTube. Esailing TV channel here has a live feed also. There's a 6 seconds delay, but it's fantastic on YouTube. All our videos are saved forever, so you can see what we've been doing the last year, also the highlights. Example, here's Norman and I having fun with the chat, getting questions from the chat, and it was so fun. But if you want to see the live shows straight away without any delays, then go on the Gamers Universe, Twitch TV, write Esailing TV. There's a 2 seconds delay. So in here, it's if you want to see the shows live. All live shows will be deleted after 14 days. But you can do your own highlights, clip it out, and it will be saved forever. And then some of you said, hey, Twitter. Yeah, we are on Twitter. Go on Twitter, write Esailing TV. We're also doing live shows on Twitter. But again, there's an 8 seconds delay on the live shows. But you can see some tweets when we're out traveling. You can get direct notifications when we're doing activities. In here, we are doing a lot of pop-up news, but we are having a lot of fun. You can share and like what we're doing. And of course, Instagram is also there. But Instagram, we're not doing any live shows on. We're only doing pop-up news. So here you can see what we're doing of crazy things. And trust me, we'll be better to do a lot of more crazy things in here. Example, we met L1's nail shop in Liverpool. Or the highlights show from the World Championship. We also informed about it here. Hope you're enjoying what we're doing in Esailing TV. See you on the servers.